Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the second episode of the Thursday Table. Today we have with us Mrs.Asha Thomas Fenn, academician, trainer, educational consultant, and corporate relations manager. She's the author of the book, As You Embark, a campus to corporate transition handbook for students and young working professionals. She's also an advisor for many international schools and a corporate consultant for many business schools, an eminent speaker at international conferences, and an invitee to many countries seeking her expertise as an education veteran. Asha ma'am is also associated with many NGOs and has won several awards and accolades for her contribution to the field of education. Though she wears many hats, she still loves to be called a teacher and believes that there is nothing more inspiring and encouraging than seeing young buds blossom into beautiful flowers, contributing in their own special and positive ways to the growth of society. On behalf of all of us at HIE, we welcome you, ma'am, and over to you.
Thank you, ma'am, for the kind words, and the very respected dignitaries, the management personnel, the faculty members, and my dear children, a very good evening to you all. And special greetings from God's own country, Kerala to Hyderabad, and this is our Onam time, which is our very, very favorite festival. And on behalf of our beautiful God's own country, let me wish you a very happy Onam. And God willing, why not? Sometime you children and faculty members should come over and experience our Onam this side. Saying that, yes, it is, our topic for the day is leadership is a choice and not a position. And of course, a very, very special thank you, ma'am, for inviting me. And we have been friends for quite some time. Again, the same platform is that both of us are teachers and we love children. And thank you so much for to the authorities of this institution for inviting me and being part of you. And God willing, when everything is normal, I just love to come and meet the children and you all, the time God permits. Saying that, now let me just get the attention of my young children here. God has created all of us in the same way. Every one of us is a leader. This is a very debatable topic often, whether it's in us, the leadership, or whether it is something we learn to become a leader, or whether it's something where we are born leader. So many things we come across, when you are in 11th and 12th, now you're 16 and 17 years old, from your KG up to this class, you have been hearing different definitions of leader. To me, I believe all of us are blessed with equal talents, capabilities by the God Almighty. And it is up to us how to capitalize all those qualities which is given to us by the man above. And often we take it for granted that, people probably will make you a leader or probably make you a class monitor to begin with. Then it is always the investiture ceremony when you come to the higher classes. Then you have a head girl, head boy position. Then you have the house captains. Then you have the school athletic captain. Then there is literary captain. So many hats for you. But then again, the teachers also, the management also look at some students which fits their bill. Now, what is it that we are going to talk about? To me, each one of you is a leader. I believe each one of you can be a leader if there is some interest in you, and also if you try a little bit extra. All of us are brilliant leaders. Now, the spelling leader, I presume and assume you have a paper and a pen with you. So you can probably write down the spelling of the leader, vertical, L-E-A-D-E-R. Let's see who is a leader, or what is it that we are looking at, the special qualities of a leader. Before that, I wish we are, on a physical interactive session, because, I can see your eyes. I can see that whether you are understanding what I'm trying to tell you. But let me just ask you a simple question. Do we like to use branded things? You can either answer to me, you can just, on the video and speak to me. Do we like using branded products? Do we? Or are we, we are to an extent, great extent, we are crazy about it also. Having a branded pen or a branded wallet and a branded shoe, whatnot, anything, a branded perfume, anything. So are we? Do we really like using that?
Yes.
Yes, great. Why do you think it is Divya? Was it Divya?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Divya, can you just tell me 2 qualities of a branded product? Just 2 qualities, anything you like, just 2 qualities.
Brand quality and lasting.
Yeah, it is lasting, agreed. Then
Recognition.
Recognition. Great, thank you, Divya.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, so it is, we are looking at it because, it gives you a prestige and privilege. You're saying that, I'm using this pen, or I'm having a pen, I'm having a shoes, I'm having a wallet. So many things you can speak about because, they are accepted brand in the world. Will you believe, children, if I say that each one of us is a brand? Each one of us is a brand. What is it that the other person is going to look at you? I told you, I know 𝗙𝗶𝘁 ma'am for a long time. What is the first thing comes to my mind when I think about ma'am? It's a brand. She has created that brand. She has created that aura. What is it that comes in the other person's mind when somebody meets you? That is what we need to look at very carefully. What is it that we are known for? Hilariously, I just would like to say that sometimes when we sit in a group, please don't feel anything bad about it when I say, when we sit in a group, when we see somebody coming to the group, sometimes we have to make a comment like this: oh my, he or she is coming with so much of news. I think it's a good brand. If that person only speaks good things about people, it's a good brand. But if you are known for the wrong news and the wrong bad mouthing, that is a terrible brand to have. And we are, and very, very carefully listen to this. We meet a lot of people in our life. Now you're going to, some of you are in 11th, some of you are in 12th, and then you go to the college. We let you go out into the world. We are so protected now in that 11th and 12th, that 17 years. And then there is nobody to tell you what to do and what not to do. It's always left to us, right? And then also now over your 16 and 17 years of your schooling, you don't remember everyone. You remember very few people. And who are those people? I always believe, if you are not agreeing to that, you're most welcome to debate on that. We remember only in our life 2 sets of people. Only 2 sets of people. Who are those 2 sets of people? Those who create problem for you and those who solve problem for you. Think about it. You know, you have a people in your life. It could be anybody from home, from family, from school, friends, authorities. You always say you have your way of remembering them. Either that person have troubled you a lot, or that person have really helped you in a different way, in the right way. That is a brand. That is definitely a brand. And those are the things we are going to look at. Now, what are the right habits we should have as a leader? And before that, let me take you, who is a leader? So it is L-E-A-D-E-R, right? So then the L stands for a leader has to be a continuous learner. There is no day that I should think, now I'm 60 years old now. I shouldn't think that I know everything. Today is also a learning day. I was waiting to talk to you. I will take a lot of things back after this meeting with you. You know, every day is a learning day. Can you identify a person? We all know him. We all know him so well. Who was a continuous learner? Anybody? Not Divya, now somebody else. Who you can connect a person who was a continuous learner.
Sir, APJ Abdul Kalam.
APJ.
Yes?
Sir, APJ Abdul Kalam.
Right. Great. Brilliant. How easily we say that, right? That's the brand about Sir. He was a continuous learner. So you can put it in your paper. L for continuous learning. Put a hyphen and put it there across that, against that, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Then we have the E. That's the next necessary qualification for a leader, which is E, enthusiasm. A leader has to be enthusiastic. There is a product I'm going to talk about. Even now, till now, there is not a competitor for that product. I'm talking about the person who invented that product. Enthusiasm. A leader have to be enthusiastic. Anyone? Who is that person?
Steve Jobs.
Wonderful. What is that? Who is that? Naveed. Naveed Ahmed. Brilliant.
Yes, sir.
Brilliant, Naveed.
Yes,
Yeah. So then, when Steve Jobs, you know, he made a product in such a way that there is no competition for him. What an enthusiastic man. And you must listen to one of his speeches to the a graduation ceremony. You should listen to him. One of the best speeches you could listen. What he was, what were his failures, and how he came up, how he was thrown out of his own company. All that is an amazing motivation. Steve Jobs made a beautiful product, Apple. And I just want to ask you a very interesting question, a quiz question on Steve Jobs. Maybe for you to think about, and then when I give you my number, you could probably, you know, send me a note on that when you find the answer. And since we don't have a physical interactive session, you know, a lot of limitations. Let's bear with that anyway. So then Steve Jobs, if you see any of his photographs, you will see him only in polo neck t-shirt. This I have heard, this particular question I have heard in a Tata Crucible quiz by 𝗙𝗶𝘁𝗵 for the MBA and engineering and the graduate students, college students. Nobody answered, but then the quiz master have to answer. So there's a beautiful answer for why Steve Jobs wear only polo neck t-shirt. So that's a quiz question. I'm leaving it with you. You can think about, and you can probably write to me even, you know, as we finish. Don't Google now. I hope you don't have the phone with you, and then don't Google. You will not, rarely you get probably the answer unless you go to the Tata Crucible site and look for it. But it's an amazing, it's a beautiful answer and very much of fun it is. Why he is always wearing polo neck t-shirt. Any idea? Anybody? Quickly. There's a Navi, there's a Divya. Tell me, there are so many other children. Come on. What could be the reason he's only wearing the polo t-shirt?
Maybe to show simplicity, ma'am.
Simplicity. Oh, polo t-shirt, for, if you ask me, it's very stylish. It's not simplicity anyway. I can tell you a quick answer for that. Do you want to know?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you?
Yes,
Definitely.
Yes. He hates buttons. How do you like that answer? Steve Jobs, his product never have any button, right? So he hates buttons. That was the answer, the quiz answer by 𝗙𝗶𝘁𝗵, and that is something I still remember because, you know, button. So that is the reason polo neck is so convenient, isn't it? Put it over your head and that's it. He made it so beautifully, his product. And once you're used to that, then you know the beauty of using any Apple product. And then the next thing for the spelling for leader is A. Articulate. It's an amazing quality of a leader. Now, I have been speaking for the last 5 or 6 minutes or 10 minutes. If I don't speak in a language you understand, it's an absolute waste of time. A leader is somebody who have to communicate or probably guide all his fellow people. So he should be having a brilliant system of articulation in his speeches. Can you tell me somebody who is known for his speeches? People used to wait for his speeches. And he's there. The first 2 people were not there, but this man is still alive. And he is known for his speech because he is so articulate in it. Is a president. Is a president.
Barack Obama.
Yes, great. Varsha, that's brilliant. It is none other than Barack Obama. Barack Obama is known for his speech. He's so articulate. What do you mean by being articulate? You have to have a clarity, and then you should be able to communicate completely to the people who are going to listen to you. All right. So we have the L, we know it is, we know the E, and we know the A, and then we have the D. What does that leader have to be? A leader have to be daring. Here I'm talking about a lady, an Indian lady. She is so daring. Can you think about her? She's there now.
Kiran Bedi.
Kiran Bedi. Aisha, that's wonderful. Kiran Bedi, there's a story about Kiran Bedi. When she was in charge, she got a call from one of her, junior people, said, "Ma'am, there is a problem. There is a car parked wrong on the road. What do we do?" She said, then immediately he said, "But the car belongs to a personal secretary or personal, some officials of Mrs. Gandhi, Mrs. Indira Gandhi." Her answer, that is called daring. One have to be daring to say that. She said, "So what? Tow it." That is Kiran Bedi, and that a leader has to be daring. You need not have to see, or you don't have to see that, have to be very, very explicit in your decision. You're not going to favor anybody. Go by rule. I wish all of us do that. Let's not get into that politically, all that, you are a lot of pressure. But Kiran Bedi said, "Tow it." The next day, I'm told it was all over the headlines was that she had the guts to tow a car of an officer who is closely associated with that time Prime Minister, Mrs. Indira Gandhi. Ma'am is still very, very, you hear about it, you talk about it, you hear about all that she's doing for people. That's an amazing quality of a leader, be daring. And then we have another E, right? L-E-A-D and then E. What is that E? You could, anybody? One is enthusiasm, and what is the other E?
Energy, energetic.
Energy is there. If you have energy, you'll be daring.
Empathetic.
Pardon me?
Empathy or empathetic.
Empathy. Who is that young man? Oh, wow. It's empathy. My goodness. You have everything, but you don't. Sympathy is something when you hear about any bad news, you say, oh my. After that, no news about it. But empathy is something we get into the shoes of that person. And then you are thinking for that person, doing everything to reduce his suffering. It's an amazing quality of a leader. So we have quite a few qualities here, very strong qualities of a leader. Do you have all that in you? Are you a continuous learner? Are you enthusiastic? Are you an articulate person? Are you a daring person? And are you an empathetic person? Then to the whole world, you are a role model, and that's the R form. So that is something I'm leaving it with you. Is there anything missing in you? Work on it. It is very important to work on it. And tell me somebody who will, when we think about empathy, one name comes to our mind, night and day and night and day and night. What is that? Who is that person? Who is that person?
Mother.
Mother Teresa.
Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa. You don't have to, nobody have to tell you. That's the life she has led for others. And that's a divine call. And I really want to tell you, children, the most necessary, the most necessary quality of a leader is being empathetic. All the other things we can, develop. But this is divine indeed. God has to intervene there and tell you and make you feel for others. And it is such a beautiful quality. And I want you, because, I want you to look at that as one of your major quality, being a leader, because it's an amazing feeling when you see that smile in another person. I have a student. He is totally into palliative care and things. He's an MBA student, Muhammad Yunus. You can Google him, and if there is a chapter about him in a German book, and also he takes care of all this, less privileged people on the road, and all those things he does. So Muhammad Yunus' signature statement is this: ma'am, if I happen to hear about him, I just called him and said, I would love to see you. He came and saw me, and then he asked me, why did you call and why do you want to see me? I said, I just wanted to know how blessed your parents are to have a son like you, who thinks and who lives for others at this a young age. And then he told me, ma'am, it is like this. If you can bring a smile on another person's face by our activities, by our gestures, nothing like it. Young and old he's talking about. So this is something, I can tell you a very simple way of being a wonderful empathetic person. Now you all will carry a backpack and all, you move out. You move out to the streets and all, whenever the government permits to do all that. You should carry the small packets of biscuits and things like that, the very good days and the chocolates ones and all that. Put it in your bag. As you walk, you may see some poor people on the roadside. You look at them, and most of the time you just say, oh, how sad, and then you walk away from that. From now on, from today on, try this. You keep these little biscuit packets with you in your bag. When you see somebody on the road, go and give a small packet of that. You see the smile on his or her face. It's divine. It's just divine. It's that packet of biscuit for us, we eat and we are not even bothered about it because our parents have the money to buy for us and whatever. But there are probably that old person or middle-aged person maybe tasting a biscuit for the first time. And they will look at you with a glow in their eyes. They bless you with a glow in their eyes. And it is amazing blessing. And we should always do things to person who cannot repay those good, whatever things you're going to do to them. That's very important. I'm sure it's there in your Quran, in your Bible, in your Gita. They always said that, but we do something to the less privileged people. That is an amazing quality of a leader. Being empathetic, right? So when you have continuous learning, when you have an enthusiastic quality, when you are an articulate person, when you are a daring person, when you are an empathetic person, you are a role model to n number of people around. That's what I wish all of you to be. It's not a position, it's something you can create and inculcate in yourself daily. You might have been seeing all those quotes which I have sent to ma'am, you might have been seeing all that, right? And they are all from different walks of life. Mrs. Gandhi and Margaret Thatcher and Gandhiji, they're all from the political, but they are all different. They have contributed so much for us. And there's a sports star, Michael Jordan, and he is also saying something very, very beautifully to you youngsters. We always have that habit of giving up very fast. When something is not happening in your way, you will say, okay, I cannot do it, let somebody else do it, and you quit. And Michael Jordan is reminding you, don't do that. Once you quit, it becomes a habit for you. Probably we, me and your ma'am, all are like this because we are with youngsters like you. We cannot afford to be less energetic because, you children are so smart. So we have to upgrade ourselves I never knew how to use to write the mail or things because I never had to. But then when I went to the management college, when I took charge on the first day, the system man came and told me, Asha ma'am, your email ID is asha@dcschool.net. Oh my goodness, that's the time I realized I have to know how to send a mail because all communications are internal. I was 44 years old. I used to be after my children. Can you write this email for, to my husband? He said, Amma, you learn. I said, no, not necessary. But that's the day I realized necessity is the mother of invention. And today I work on my phone. It's all mails, everything. So every day is a learning day. And you equip with everything necessary so that you don't have to depend on anyone. But unfortunately, we are an addict to this. It's a monster, I call this, phones. Now you are at an advantage because on the online classes, we used to say, no, don't look at it. I just want to tell you now, that's going to be part of us. But let me tell you something, you are losing your amazing ability of writing full-fledged sentences. You are starting using that, this SMS or everything short forms. Please, even if you're writing a WhatsApp message to a friend, make sure that they are full-fledged sentences. And that happens. And when I see the MBA as a student mentor, it's very difficult for them to write 2-3 sentences completely right. It happens because you are playing with your phone. You want to quickly send the message to your friends. You do all that. And then gradually that quality and the capability God has given you to write fantastic English sentences is coming down so badly. I want to tell you a beautiful story about another student of mine. This is precisely, I'm going to talk about attitude. Leaders should have the right attitude. I happen to be the Civil Service Academy, Kerala Civil Service Academy coordinator of Trivandrum, the Kerala government, which is stationed at Trivandrum. I had 27 students in that list who was trying for their, civil UPSC exam. I was going through the 27 names, one student I found doesn't have a mobile number. I'm talking about almost, it happened in 2008. That boy, I was very curious to meet that boy. I have taken prior bail from that student of mine. I said, I have to speak about you in most of my sessions because, just wanted to tell the children that you can do brilliant in life without a mobile phone. So his name was Rahul R. Pillai. So I just sent word. I said, I'd like to meet the student. So he came to my room. Such a shy boy. Okay, what is Rahul's background? He's a mechanical engineer. He worked for Alliance Cornhill for 4 years. He has just come for his civil service exam. So Rahul was in his typical, I'm a very shy boy. So I said, please, Rahul, please sit down. I said, ma'am, why did you call me? I said, no, I'm very curious to know. You don't have a mobile number. You don't have a mobile. You know what my Rahul told me? Ma'am, it's a distraction. I'm here for a very specific purpose. This is precisely, I call it, focus and also attitude. He's not ashamed of not having a mobile among with the other students. All of them are, they all studied and worked and came for this UPSC exam. But it doesn't matter. He said, I'm here for a very specific purpose and then I need to focus. So I don't have a phone. And I saw there is a landline, which if there is anything, I can call up the landline and let know his parents. And as he was about to leave, he asked me another question. This is very interesting. Ma'am, is there anything else, any other advice you have for me? And I looked at him and I said, I'm looking at a 26-plus-year-old gentleman. I said, if I have the permission, can I tell you one more thing, Rahul? Yes, ma'am, please. I said, I'm looking at a civil another 6-7 months. And a civil servant demands, and there is an aura about that position. And for that, you need to be prim and proper, and you should have that finesse in you. He looked at me. Oh, my. I said, like what, ma'am? I said, look at your shirt. It's not ironed. Look at your trousers. It's not up to the mark. You're wearing a very casual sandal. And look at your hair. It is not. Then he's told me in his naughty smiling face, he's just told me, isn't it better when I get that and then I start doing it? I said, no. You start now, it becomes a habit for you. And then it's just part of you. He just nodded his head. He never said yes, he never said no. I said, as a mentor, I thought I should tell you that, Rahul. He went. The next day morning, my room faces the lift. These children move out and then he came. He walked into my room. I saw him. My Rahul was in a bottle green iron shirt, beige colored trousers, black shoes polished and socks and belt. He walked into my room and said, how do I look today? I said, you look exactly how a civil servant should be. He could have easily ignored my note. He said, this old lady, what is she saying? All that, but he didn't do that. And that's precisely attitude. And that's precisely something we need to know. Do you believe in first impression? Impact, children? Do you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now, the minute you saw me, how much time you need to frame a first impression? How much time you need? Second? 1 second? 2 seconds? How much time? How much time? The minute you saw me on the video, on the camera, you have made an impression. I don't know what is it, but you have made an impression. And the irony is, first impression is the best. And there is a continuation. It is the lasting also. Even if I come next time to your campus, what impression you have got about me today stays with you? Yes or no? Stays with you? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Very much. So first impression is the best, and it is the lasting impression, and leader has to be very impressive. Now, how a leader can be impressive? Definitely your attire, the way you dress speaks volumes about you. Decent clothing and your mannerism is something which speaks very, very high about you. That doesn't mean that you do everything and then your character is not right. That's also difficult. But it's written on your face. It's written on your face. And it is not that when somebody is coming or when an official is coming to the school or to any function, you be at your best. No, you have to be at your best all the time. That's again a brand. Some people are known for the dressing, what they wear and how they talk, how they carry themselves, that is how they are noted for. And that's the first impression impact. That also makes a leader, to the fullest. And then another quality of a leader is that you are always a team player. You cannot say that, in a monitor, when you are a monitor of the class, you have the full power vested on you by the class teacher. You can direct the class children whatever way you want. But then, how you take the class along is a beauty. You empowers the other people also. That's a good leader all about. You take the whole group along with you. Do you think you can do anything if you don't have the support of your friends or the other people who have to work? So the teamwork is very, very important. And another amazing quality of a leader, to my perspective, and I think, is that you need to be a good listener. Most of us have got the habit when somebody starts talking, or you have something to say in between. You'll cut the conversation and you'll say, that person maybe wanted to communicate something else, but before that we will give a comment. Listening is an art. And for a good leader, being a listener is amazing. Now, when I speak about when we work in organization, in your organization or wherever, we need a listening authority. When I face a problem in my workplace, I should have a superior where I can go and share my thoughts, and that person should have a listening ear. It's an amazing quality of a leader. And that's something else I want you to inculcate in yourself gradually. Your babies now. You're so protected with us, the teachers, the parents, the school. Now we are going to let go, in another, by March, the 12th standard will go, right? So, and then you're on your own. Now, that's another thing I want to know. Crisis management is another art of a leader. What do you mean by crisis management? When there is a problem, which is an unexpected problem have come, how do you handle it? What is it that you need to handle such situations? What do you think you need? Definitely wisdom. I rather say your double PhDs, your triple PhDs, your other degree, or whatever is not going to help you. It is always the wisdom is going to make a difference, right? Now, is there a difference between knowledge and wisdom? Is there a difference? Yes or no?
There is a difference.
There is a difference. What is a knowledge? What do you mean by knowledge? From the book, right?
Yes.
We get that from the book. Absolutely. And what is it that wisdom I'm talking about here?
To apply how to use the knowledge. How to use the knowledge, to apply the knowledge wherever it is required.
Okay, Munawar Sultana, that's nice. But then how do we do that? How do we get that knowledge? You have to use the knowledge. Now I'll tell you a very simple example of that. Okay. I'm taking you back to your KG classes. All right. And when I say KG classes, you're 3.5 plus, right? That's the time you get into the KG, right? Yes? Yes or no? 3.5.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Well, in our time, it was 5. Okay. And this is another homework I'm going to give it to you children today. How many of you are in touch with your KG teacher? You're in class 11 and class 12. How many of you are in touch with your KG teacher? When yeah, it's good. Now, I just want to tell you this. She or he is the one who have laid the foundation for you. Yes or no? Everything. You know, how she hugged you when you first day of your class, how she has taken you to the washrooms. Sometimes you have cried, wiped your tears. Sometimes you have vomited probably on the dress. How fondly and how beautifully she carried you throughout that 3.5 to 4.5. Then you're a big boy and a big girl. It's okay. Now you're away from home. That's a second mother. I used to teach only 11th and 12th because my subject is accountancy. When I used to be the school teacher. And there is a system of farewell in class 12, right? And when the class 12, the other classes also, the science classes also will come and call me. Mom, please be there. It is our farewell day. Then I ask a very normal question to all the children. I've been in Dubai. You know, I used to ask this question. Okay, how long you have been in the school? Oh, KG onwards, ma'am, KG onwards. Okay. Have you invited your KG teacher for the farewell? Oh, then they look at me. What is this Mrs. Fenn saying? I said, go and show yourself. You're a grown-up man, lady today. And I just want to, if any KG teachers are here listening to me, hats off to you all for making us what we are today. Because I am in touch. I told you, I am 60 years old. I got into school when I was 5 years old. 55 years ago, I am in touch with a nun. Her name is Reverend Mother HIE. Anything I am today is because of her. She is the one who put me that confidence in me, being a leader, talking, debates, singing, dancing, acting, whatnot. Even when I was in class 4, I was the Desdemona for the Othello play. Instilled in that confidence in us. And my Othello was none other than my geography teacher, because there's nobody that big to be an Othello, right? So we have to be in touch with our KG teachers. With gratitude only, you have to remember about them. So this September 5th, this is something about September 5th, right? What is it on September 5th?
Teachers' Day.
Ah, Teachers' Day. So Teachers' Day, I'm going to give you homework. Find out your KG teachers if you don't know, if you have forgot. Maybe in some other school you have studied. Hunt for her. You know, I don't believe in that, you know, that very class you give a card to the teacher and a flower to the teacher. You write a little note, not your own card. It can be an old card of yours made by you with few sentences. Go and meet her and tell her, thank you for making me what I am. Will you do that, all of you children? Try doing that. It's an amazing experience. I speak to this, she's 80 years old. I speak to this nun. She's in a convent. She called me Asha Mole. How wonderful to hear that. And, you know, and it is an amazing bonding. Now, KG teachers, you need to identify and give them a, you know, all your gratitude to that teachers. And anybody listening to me here who is a KG teacher, thank you so much for being there for us, for all of us, and making us what we are. And then in the KG class, something our teachers teach us, right? The 5 senses. Which are the 5 senses? Your eyes, your nose, right? Complete it. Which are the 5 senses? Which are the 5 senses? Huh? Ear, right? Eyes, lips, then what is it?
Tongue and skin.
Tongue and skin. But God has blessed us with a 6th sense abundantly. But unfortunately, we don't use it. Can you tell me that 6th sense? What is a 6th sense?
Brain.
No. common sense. Do we have that? We are full of that, and we don't use it. And common sense in excess is wisdom. I told you, if you want to be a crisis manager, what do you need to be? You should have wisdom, right? And what is this wisdom? It's excess of common sense. And what is common sense? You know, something suddenly happens. Nobody told you that it is going to happen. Nobody is around, but you need to use your common sense to tackle that position. And that's an amazing quality of a leader, being a crisis manager. And then I just want to tell you one more thing, and then, you know, we need to ask few questions also. Just want to tell you, there's a beautiful quote in the Bible. I'm sure it's there in the Quran and it's in the Gita. In Bible, it is said like fire. You know, it's good. I can talk, I can say good things, I can say bad things, but it is like fire. What is the nature of fire? You lit it at one end and just goes. No control. Does it have a control? Fire, you cannot hold it back also. It is like that, what we speak. So the right conversation is an amazing quality of a leader. What you should speak, what you should refrain from. If you look around, all political problems, all family problems, all problems in the workplace, everything happens beginning with a wrong conversation. So we need to control our tongue. And it is said also, if you can control your tongue, you can control your whole body. And there's a beautiful quote regarding the right conversation. With your words, you can mend a person or you can kill a person. Meaning, I can speak about a person and make that person miserable. At the same time, I can talk to that person and lift them from that wrong moods. And let people know you as a branded person. This person, if I have a problem, I can run to. That person will take me to a different level. Positive thinking, optimism, all that we can inculcate in others also, so that we need to be, we should be a leader of the right conversation. And again, this is not something it's a position. It just, all these habits is getting inculcated in you. I have told you very key, straight of a leader. You can, I'm also giving you a little homework on this. I will share my email ID. Maybe, ma'am, you can, I'm just going to tell the children to write a synopsis of what we have spoken today, so that all of you, whatever has hit you, whatever has enlightened you from this very little conversation I had with you, write a synopsis about it. Even that leader, the expansion of all those words, and the traits and the brand and, the etiquette and the finesse and so many things we heard today. Unless you write it down, children, tomorrow somebody asks you, you forget. Including my homework for September 5th. And the best synopsis, even all the synopses are brilliant, I will give you something. But I want you to write it. The date and my name, and then, everything. And you say, what is it that you got invite from my little talk today? Then I'm blessed. And then the last thing I want, 3 beautiful R's you have to maintain. R, the letter R. 1, respect. Respect, self-respect. 2nd, respect others. And the 3rd R, responsibility for all your action. When I say respect self, is that, I dress prim and proper, or I carry myself, it's not to show anybody, because I respect myself. And similarly, I have to respect others also. And similarly, if I have gone wrong, let me have that humility to say that, sorry, I've gone wrong. To us as human, we all are prone to make mistakes. But don't worry, you can always correct yourself. And that's very, very important. Say that you have gone wrong, correct yourself, and try not to make the same mistakes and mistakes and mistakes. All right? And then Anybody seeing you, they will say that, oh, well, this person is a real brand. And what are the qualities of a branded leader? This is not something somebody will give you, call you and put you in a position. When you have all these, people will run after you. You know, I just want to tell you one more thing. Never run after money. Run after learning. Money will run after you. It's a fact, I'm telling you. You keep empowering, enhancing yourself. People will come in search of you, wherever you are in the world. That's the beauty. And that is something will only come with the right friendship. Your friend, you have to be very choosy. The right friend is very important. And if your parents are correcting you, listen to them, because they have seen the world more than you all. Respect your parents, love your parents, respect and love your teachers. There is something called Guru. Without them, we are nobody. Anything I am today is because of my teachers and because of my parents. And the man above the Almighty will definitely take care of you. And I just want to tell you something. You know, sometimes you want things to happen the way you want. But the beauty is that God will have only 3 answers for you. It's either an yes, or a no, or a wait. And He has a reason for all this. He never comes early. He never comes late. He will be on the dot. And with that, and I've told you quite a few things. So it is something inculcated. So you need to try, you should try developing all that. It's easy. And ma'am, you should share my number and my email ID to the children. And you're most welcome to write to me anything, anytime, whatever you want to know. I will be very happy to, whatever I know, I will definitely share with you. And you can share anything, because that will be between you and me. You know, it is an absolute secret, whatever you want to talk to. Okay, you can count on me as a friend. And thank you so much to the management for this wonderful opportunity. You have any questions to answer? I mean, to ask me, you're most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Very inspiring.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now,
Thank you, ma'am.
Shweta, to take
Any questions?
Thank
You're
you,
most
madam.
welcome.
Teach you.
Shweta, can we have the question answers? Question session.
Yes, ma'am. Let's start with the question and answer session.
Yep.
So here is a request from Mr. 𝗙𝗵𝘁. Over to you, 𝗙𝗵𝘁. You can ask your question to ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Good evening, 𝗙𝗵𝘁.
Ma'am, my question is, what are the keys to be a leader who is physically fit and mentally awake?
Physically fit and
Mentally awake.
what are the, can you repeat the question?
What are the keys? What are your, suggestions for a leader who has to be, physically fit and mentally awake? Physically fit in the sense, I mean, like his physical posture and his physical appearance.
Okay, fine. Yeah, but physical appearance is something, is something which you don't have to debate on, because, it's something God creates you in a way. But you can maintain that. And obviously, it's from the genetic, the genes, we are all made like that. Fine. No complaints. I mean, like, even physically handicapped people, when you look at, there are wonderful leaders there. So physical fitness, if you're talking about the looks, the mannerism, is something which you can definitely, copy to a great extent, and then if you ask me, if I see a shabbily dressed person, I frame an opinion about that person. And I switch off also sometimes, you know, even if that person wants to say something. Why I am saying this? Because I facilitate people, children, you know, the MBA engineering graduates for their placement. And I have heard from the corporates who come for the interview, he said that when they take that walk to us for that panel discussion, personal interview board, I look at, one of my corporate friend told me, I look at their shoes and that shoes is not polished well, I switch off. That person will come and sit with me. He may answer all the questions, difficult question, crack the everything, but I have switched off, because if that very day of his interview, if he is not careful enough to have a polished shoe and the right attire, how can I entrust my product to that person? So it's very important. Your personal appearance is very important when it comes to that. And then mentally awake, that awakeness, you know, that awakening will come only if you keep that phone a little while away. Honestly, I'm telling you, can you get into the habit of not looking at your phone the minute you get up? The minute you get up, even at 2 in the night, you want to go to the washroom, the first thing you'll say, oh, what is there on my WhatsApp, on my Facebook? I'm not a Facebook person. And I'm not missing anything, children. All my connects are otherwise made. You know, that's the advertisement for Facebook. Oh, you have not met that. I'm talking about my teacher. I met 55 years ago. No Facebook, no phone, nothing we had. So it's an art. It's an art. It's a PR is an art, public relation. So what I suggest, you know, you need whatever God has given. We are beautiful in our way. And the character is the most beautiful thing. It's not your physical appearance. That just goes. When we die, in 3 days, we are off. But what we leave a legacy and going from this world. What is it Abu Bakr is known for? What is the brand? What is the legacy? Is he a good person? There are so many things which I told you. Try to inculcate all that. Mentally awakeness, that will come only if you let go your phone for a while. And now the media is so active. Follow the right. I read news, but I'm telling you, children, I stopped reading our Malayalam, you know, the main paper. Simple reason, you only get negative energy. How somebody happened, that accident happened. What is it that you have to know about it? You're not getting anything. So stick to the news. Be selective in looking at the media. Don't go and read. And movies. Again, I want to tell you, children. The movie stars are paid for it, for all that acting. You see 10 times a movie, you're wasting your time. How is it going to help you? So be selective in everything. Your friends, what you see, what you speak, and that will definitely make you a brilliant leader. And physical appearance, it's absolutely God's way of giving, and we cannot make over or whatever you say, but you know, there is a limit. So just be that, and that's what people are going to get attracted to. You know, most of see, when you look at the big leaders, you know, Nelson Mandela, they're not that very handsome and all. Look at us, we are talking about them even now. So those things try to inculcate in you. I think I have answered your question, Abu Bakr.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we have answered both the questions. The other question was in my mind about the news and how to stay, you know, maintain positivity while reading this news. Have answered that question too, ma'am. Thanks a lot, ma'am. That was a wonderful session.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Abu Bakr. Thank you, ma'am, for answering. And here is another question from Dr. Gangaraju. Over to you, sir.
Yes, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
It's a pleasure to interact with you, ma'am. Thanks to the management of HIE and such a great person we are interacting with. And my question is, ma'am, according to me, leadership is the innate quality of human being to respond the problem in the society, and in a democratic way, that too, and in a part of peace by mobilizing the communities or people to solve it. So how will we inculcate this quality in our kids in such a digital era where they are engaging with phones and madam, screen time. They are enjoying the screen time. So that how to inculcate in our kids this quality.
Sir, I love the quote which I have shared with you of Gandhiji.
Yes.
Be the change what you want to see in the world. Today, so there is no hard and fast rule how we can influence the children. You have to show your own life. They have to look at you and say, okay, whatever he's saying is practicing. Now we have the very silly excuses that, they are not doing this. These people are not doing this. How are we doing it? This is, let the whole world do what they want, but let's stick to the right principles, everything, the best way, and so that there will be a change, including, I don't know about Hyderabad, I've been there 3 or 4 times, clearing up our own houses. There's a habit of clearing up everything and then throwing to the next person's. It is there. Do you really like that to happen to your own house? So whatever you don't want others to do, let's not do it. And we have to be the change. And the children, they are watching you with a third eye as teachers. This is something my son told me. Amma, we watch the teachers with a third eye. Now I asked him when he was maybe in class 3 or 4, I said, what is this third eye, Thomas? Oh, I compare that teacher with my mother, with my amma, whether she's like this and she's like that. So there is a mechanism for the children to judge us, sir. So many ways, we don't know. And you heard the question he asked, Abu, children knows everything, unlike our times. They know everything. And then maybe today, our real challenge is that we don't have role models to point. Whereas in our time, we had wonderful people where our parents say, look at that person and be like that. Today, unfortunately, we are lacking and we are short of role models. That is something, it's a real challenge for us. And I always pray, every day I pray, God, give me that wisdom. When somebody comes and asks me something, give me that right wisdom to speak to them the right thing. That is something I want to tell you, sir. We just keep doing the good things. And I'm very sure the children they are watching with a third eye, and they know which teacher is right and which teacher is bad, and whether we are practicing what we preach is what I just want to share with you.
Well, ma'am, I want to add 2 more qualities to your leader, as you explained. That R stands for, according to me, it is responsibility. So leader should take all responsibility to lead the masses or people who is following him. And one more quality is honesty.
Honesty, oh yes, integrity, yeah. That goes without saying. When you have all this, honesty will be there. That's what
yes. Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for answer. And we have another question from Naveed wants to ask you some question, ma'am. Naveed, you can ask.
Very good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, my question, this is Naveed. My question is to you is, in the word leader, E stands for empathy as well as enthusiasm. Basically, I'm from a Christian missionary background. I have done my schooling from a convent.
Yeah.
Convent. There, most of the students and most of the after coming from schooling, after leaving the school, I have seen most of the students lag behind this quality, empathy, lag behind this quality. So, how you suggest us, how you advise us to develop that quality in us and as well as other students?
Yeah, wonderful question. That's one thing. Yeah, tell me. Yeah, one more. Anything more?
Yes, that's it, ma'am. I have seen students are being introverts. They're not opening themselves up.
I'm coming from an autistic center. In the afternoon, I was with them for a lunch. Yes, that autistic center, I've been associated with I just heard about them. Nobody told me about them. I just heard about them. There is a unit like this a little far away from my place. I went there, I met them, and then I realized some of them cannot walk. I saw even autistic children dancing today. I was literally grieving in my, it is, and one thing I'll tell you, when you see such people, you have to thank God for the wonderful way, the blessings we are. Physically, we are fit. Everything, you know, if you can, I'm also closely associated with the paraplegic center. There is a young gentleman, his name is Shashi. No, we were talking about so many things, and one day he was telling me, Asha ma'am, he's an amazing singer. He told me, Asha ma'am, having food is a secondary thing. If we can go to the washroom in the morning on our own, I think that's the most, you know, that's a blessing for all of us. Do we really thank God that every morning, if you can get up and walk to your washroom, is that a blessing? We don't. We take it for granted, lot of things. We take it for granted. We see, now we are hearing about Afghanistan. You will listen for a while and then it goes above from it. But I rather say that it's a divine call. It's a divinity in you that you will, you have heard from a convent, everything, but then you don't have to go far away also. If you see somebody from your home to some other place, if you see somebody sitting on the road hungry, I'd rather tell you, go home, bring a small, give it to that person. There's nothing like feeding the hungry. The empathy starts there. You imagine yourself, when you're hungry, you don't even you can't see your eyes properly, right? You're so hungry. And when the time moves a little, right? So when you can give a little food and see the smile on the face, you're already empathetic. I told you an exercise, no, carry some biscuits with you. As you see people, you give it to them. Oh, they'll be very happy. And there's a beautiful movie, Ustad Hotel in Malayalam. You will have subtitles there. Watch that movie. There's a brilliant actor, Thilagan. You know, he's no more. He's a very, very talented, very elderly actor, Thilagan. So there is a beautiful conversation he's telling his grandson. They are all into the hotel business. He's saying like this, he's putting it like this. In English, it comes like this. To anything and everything we get, we say we want more. Clothes, gadgets, accessories, kitchen thing, house, bigger houses. Everything is that we want more and more. But when we are full with food, we say it is enough. That's the only thing which gives you the full satisfaction. Whether you're hungry, you're fed, nothing like it. And then if you have a full-fledged, you know, you have a physical fitness. Every morning when you get up, if you can walk to the washroom without anybody's help, you're blessed. So then that empathy will come in the morning. Every morning, you're blessed like that. You don't know what's kept for you the next day, even this evening. So that's what I want to tell you. Look at others. Never compare with anybody. Be content. It's very important. With whatever God has given us. Don't compare with your rich friend, neighbor. Let them. But are you able to go in the morning to the washroom on your own? Are you getting 4 meals of a day? And do you have a roof to sleep? Do you have a pair of shoes to walk on? You're one of the blessed person in this world. That's I have for you.
Yes, I think the question is
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. And as we are running short of time, let's take 2 more questions before we wind up, ma'am. So here is like Mr. Rizwan want to ask you a question. Rizwan, you can ask question.
Good evening. Can I know how should we be away from the social media and should encourage in our goal and aim? Hello?
Yes.
How should we be away from the social media and we engage in our goal or aim and with the responsibility we are committed to?
Will you do that if I tell you this one?
I will try my best.
Can I see you? Can I see you on the video? On your video, Rizwan? Where are you? Can I see your face? Or is it they can't come on, ma'am? Or they can come? Okay, Rizwan. Can you keep away your phone for a while,
Yes, ma'am.
religiously every day. Rizwan, hi.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can you keep your phone away religiously for a few hours? No, never come and look at it, just kept away. Discipline yourself. We all do that. We do that. I keep away, otherwise, I'm a responsible position, and then you get, and sometimes when I'm reading the Bible, when I'm praying, whatever happens, only thing that, I keep the phone very close to me because my Amma is 85 years old. She's, God's grace, she's doing very well. Anything happens in the night, so I have to. Otherwise, I would love to keep it off during the night. But this I will not, because, anytime the call comes, I have to be very vigilant. But what I'm trying to say, when I sit for my quiet hours with my Bible, with my prayer, anything happens, I don't. I put it on silent mode and let it ring or whatever. Prioritize your day. What you have to do, what you don't have to do. We never had phones still. We never had, never had a phone. Even a landline, rare it was in our time. But we survived. It was our school, we went on the right time. The bus came on the right time. The fees paid on the right time. Everything happened. Today, everything SMS, pay the fees, this thing, that thing. We were never told any of these things. We were responsible enough. So we want to be responsible enough, keep that monster away. Every day, 2 hours, if you can keep and make it 3 hours, at time which you want to indulge in constructive work, keep that thing away. It is ruling you today. Keep that monster away. That's my simple advice to you. Prioritize. Did I answer your question?
Rizwan.
Yeah, great. So Rizwan, you'll write to me in my WhatsApp. Ma'am, I have done this. I've started this 2 hours from this time to this time. It is not there. Let me hear that from all of you. It will be wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. And we have another question from 𝗙𝗵𝘁. Over to you, 𝗙𝗵𝘁. You can ask your question.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. Yeah. So my question is, what would be the leader's biggest asset? What would you say would be a leader's biggest asset?
Leader's biggest asset?
Yes.
Integrity?
Right.
Then I rather say, keep your word and never get influenced by money.
Never get influenced by money, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Money will run after you. You just invest your time in learning.
All right.
Money will call you. Come, because you are worthy. And never play with that, because money is creating all the problems today, isn't it? Even with the political scenario.
Yes.
Everybody wants to. So to get away, my civil service stint, these boys, including my Rahul, when I take them to the British Council for reading, to improve their skills in communication, they used to ask me a question, ma'am, you have any advice to us when you become the civil servants? I used to tell them, I have only one single advice to you children. Never get carried away with money. Never take a bribe from anyone to get things done. Once you take that, then it becomes a habit. That first time resisting is very, very big. So my children, my boys says, ma'am, that's the only advice. I said, my goodness, I don't want to hear. My Rahul has been caught for this. My Hari Kishore has been caught for this. I don't want to hear that. Because I cannot. I will be grieving about it. So this is something I must tell you. Few of my civil servant students, they're doing so well in life. You cannot buy them for money. Let people not buy you for money. With money, rather. That's the biggest challenge you are going to face in the days to come. And it will be very tough for you also. I'm not saying it will be easy. It will be very, very tough, but stand to your decision. Stick to your policies and principles. That's very important. And that you need the divine guidance. I mean, you keep talking to him and tell him, what I should do, what I shouldn't do. Make that very, very visible. You have to make up your mind. Should I fall for it or not? And it will be very challenging for you also, sometimes. If you are a civil servant and all, no, maybe they'll try to kill you also, but then it's an honor. It's an honor to die like that. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Yahya. Thank you.
Yahya, I think you got your answer.
Yes, I did. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And I request Yahya will to propose vote of thanks.
Is it Yahya going to? I have a Yahya here in Kerala.
Oh, you do? Okay.
So next time, can I see your face?
Yes,
Yahya?
sure. Yeah, 1 second.
Oh, yes.
Hello.
Hi. Yes. That was a lovely question. And are you planning to be a civil servant?
Well, I'm planning on first completing my graduation. Maybe then.
Graduation in what?
I'm studying medicine.
Oh, great. Oh, doctors can be. We have a young collector here now, Divya is here. You should Google her videos. She's a doctor now and a civil servant, collector now. Yeah, that's right. All the best.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Okay, great. We've come to the end of this webinar. Thank you, ma'am, for your stimulating speech. It was very inspiring. It's a great message to everyone who would want to become a leader of his own. Thank you, everyone. Let's meet next Thursday with another interesting webinar. Thanks.
Thank you, Yahya.
Thank you so
and
much.
I'm waiting for the synopsis. Shall I tell you my email ID?
Yes, please.
Ma'am, how do you want to communicate? You can put it as a mail or something. I can
have a group, ma'am. I can put it in the
so
group.
Please share my email ID. I'm very regular prompt in replying, and so as my phone number. You're most welcome to call. You're most welcome to put on WhatsApp. I'm not on Facebook.
All right, got that. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, 𝗙𝗵𝘁𝗵 ma'am, for this wonderful opportunity. It's wonderful to see the children, and God permits, I'll just fly down when it is time, and to see you all. And it's nice to see you all when when the things gets normal, because you have already met me, so it's easy for us to have a very pleasant interaction. And thank you so much for all the management, people. Officials, thank you so much for this great opportunity and being part of your webinar. God bless you all. God be with us all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.